Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Appreciate you taking our time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. But let's get into it. Now, in the second video that we released in this series, we talked about one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Streets of Rage 2. And for a long time, I was a very disappointed fan because I played Streets of Rage 3. I've beaten Streets of Rage 3. Streets of Rage 3 is a solid game, but it never quite took that next leap that I was looking for from Streets of Rage 3. Like, if you compare Streets of Rage 1 to 2, that leap is just huge in improvements in gameplay. And I felt like Streets of Rage 3 could have been an expansion to Streets of Rage 2. So I wasn't not the biggest fan of 3, right? There's some things I thought were kind of cool, but for the most part, it just never quite took off with me. Then I saw Streets of Rage 4. And this is one of the few times where I was very pessimistic about what they were going to do when I first saw it. And as I saw more footage of it, I just knew we had something on our hands. So I wanted to give some love to this game because in its short time being released, it's been out for a couple years. I think I've beaten it at least a dozen times. You know, a few times by myself. The first time I ran through it with my friend Aaron, and I think we beat it and then immediately started it over and started playing again, just to let you know how fun it is. I've also played it, me and Steven and my brother Justin, we all ran through it a couple of times. It was just like nobody's even just saying anything. We're all just enjoying it. And that's one of the signs of like such a great game, is when there are those moments of silence where everybody's just locked in, and then there's those moments of just laughing at somebody doing something to an enemy or throwing a guy in the hole, or, you know, just there's so many improvements to the game that I felt like was one of the perfect games in my gaming library history. Like, so everybody has their standard, you know, forward attack button special, like the grand upper, but then you also have the fix, in my opinion, it was a fix to the way the special moves worked. So in the old games, if you do a special move, if you hit anyone with your standard special, it takes off life. If you just perform the forward and attack button, it would take off life. And I always felt like that was kind of cruel, right? Because these moves are made to get people off you. But in this game, you get like this green health, which you can gain it back by attacking enemies. And I always thought that was like the one thing that was missing about Streets of Rage 2. And then aside from that, cast of characters, fantastic, right? Of course, Axel and Blaze back in the mix. Then you got Cherry, who is the daughter of Adam. Then you have Lloyd, who is the protege of Dr. Zan. Now, Dr. Zan's never really character I like too much because, again, he's in Streets of Rage 3, but I felt like this character is a much better representation of what they were trying to do with the Mechanical Man. But wait, there's more. We also get Max back, right? They did a DLC, and I'm not the biggest DLC fan a lot of times because I feel like sometimes they keep out stuff. But I felt like with this game, this was a thank you guys for supporting type of DLC. So they added more characters. You can even play Shiva now. On top of them adding more characters, there's also additional moves you can unlock so that you can have your own version of Axel, your own version of Blaze. And on top of that, you can unlock the versions of the characters from Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. And they do play differently. They're integrated very well. And then on top of that, if you take the taser and you go to one of the arcade machines and you hit the machine, it takes you back to a Streets of Rage 2 stage. Yes, a Streets of Rage 2 stage, because they knew where the money was. They knew who the golden goose was. So they made all of the retro stages based on Streets of Rage 2. So basically go through each boss area of Streets of Rage 2. So it's a lot of fan service. I mean, Streets of Rage 2, one of the greatest soundtracks ever, right? Streets of Rage 4, fantastic. I mean, just great soundtrack, top to bottom, just good, every level. And because they knew better, you can turn the Streets of Rage 2 music on for each of the levels in Streets of Rage 4. So like they get it. They get it. The enemy variations are really cool. They added a bunch of different enemies, and in Streets of Rage fashion, when you beat enemies, even if they're like a mid boss and sometimes a boss, they show up as regular enemies as you go throughout the levels. You know, they have a grading system at the end of each level, and doesn't really mean much, but I know for those of you who want to, you know, get those high grades, you can try to get S on every level. Good luck. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'm here to have fun. Story is good enough without being, convoluted or extra or, lacking. It's good enough. It's the children of Mr. X. So they got the Y twins, which is kind of cheesy, but I think it's almost cheesy in a good way. I may be biased, but I don't care. This game is fantastic. You should play it. If you have not played it, you can download it. You can get it on pretty much most consoles at this point. You can get it on PC. If you got Game Pass, you get it for free. Not really, you pay for Game Pass, but it is on Game Pass. So there are plenty of ways to play this. If you are a beat 'em up fan, you have to play it. It is that good. If you enjoy beat 'em ups in any form or fashion and you have not played it, you are doing yourself a disservice. This was done by the great folks at .mu or DOTEMU. I'm assuming that's what they call .mu. And this game makes me so excited for the sequel to Turtles in Time, because it's the same people. Also need that Metal Slug tactical game, ASAP. But take your time, do it right. Yeah, Streets of Rage 4. If you are a Streets of Rage fan, you have not played this, I'm telling you, you're missing out. And if you have played it, let me know who you think is the best character on there. I'm gonna be honest with you, I still have to go with Blaze. As much as I love Axel, Blaze is just, they made her so much better in this game. She's so viable, she's so fun, the combos go on forever. But let me know who you like, who you rocking with. And as always, have fun, be safe. Peace.